Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I am Prachi, head nutritionist and lifestyle expert from Lucudino's team. I have 8 years of experience in this field, and I've handled cases right from cancer to diabetes, thyroid, PCOS, and many more. But today, I would like to touch upon this condition, which is quite common now among people, that is migraine. And we shall discuss some effective remedies to manage the same. But before we begin, I really want to ask a question to each of you. When you get a migraine attack, and how many of you have a tendency to just reach out, for an analgesic or a painkiller, and maybe just take a couple of doses, and post that maybe you feel better, and then you just forget about the attack and continue with your daily activities without even giving it a thought as to why it may have happened. You all can just press that raise your hand option on your screen for to let me know, if your answer is a yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so I can see a majority of you, who have said it as a yes, and that all the more calls for it that you actually attend this session till the end, so that you know how you can use your lifestyle, as a drug to handle migraine and its symptoms in a more effective way. So let's get started. So first of all, what is migraine? So migraine is basically a type of headache which causes intense throbbing or pulsing pain, mostly on just one side of the head. And it is quite intense, and it can usually last from anywhere from 4 to even 72 hours. And the pain can be so severe that it interferes with your daily activities as well. And often this headache, migraine headache, is accompanied by certain symptoms like nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light, smell, sound. Even one may have certain aura kind of symptoms, which are basically visual disturbances that are flashes of light or blind spots, or even tingling sensation on one side of the face, arm, or leg. So one may, think that what exactly is the cause for migraine. So as of now, there is no certain cause that is yet known for migraine, but there are certain theories which are put up. So one of the theories says that if there are tense and stiff muscles and nerves in your upper, like in your neck and head region, that causes constriction of the blood vessels, which causes lack of blood flow to your brain cells, and therefore it can actually cause certain changes in your brain cells, which can lead to migraine pain. Or in the recent times, in fact, there many researchers say that it is because of some abnormal changes in the levels of certain chemicals which are naturally produced in the brain. And when the levels of these chemicals increase, there it causes an inflammation in the blood vessels in the brain, which lead them to swell up, and thereby the nerves, it affects the nerves, thus causing intense pain. Also, it is said that migraine could be genetic. So, probably if your parents have migraine, there is a possibility that you may have it too. Or it can be skipped in your generation, and it could be passed on to your next generation. Having said that, that the causes are not really known so far, but we do know of certain triggers which are more lifestyle related, which can influence your migraine attacks. Uh, if you are able to identify these triggers, it is very much possible to reduce the frequency and intensity of these migraine attacks, or even possibly prevent them in future. So let us discuss, some of these triggers one by one. The first being food allergies and faulty dietary habits. So some people have allergies towards nuts, peanuts, chocolate, alcohol, especially red wine, dairy, even too much of caffeine. So probably if you're having 4 to 5 cups of coffee, that's not really good. And even processed and packaged foods which are loaded with additives like especially monosodium glutamate, which is MSG, and artificial sweeteners, and even, with processed foods which are loaded with sugar and preservatives. They can actually make your body more acidic, and an acidic medium is also a trigger for your migraine. Also, coming to your dietary habits, if you keep longer gaps between your meals, that can also trigger a migraine attack. So anywhere on an average, if you keep a gap of say more than 3 to 4 hours between your meals, of course you have to also listen to your body and listen to your hunger pangs. But otherwise, on an average, 3 to 4 hours gap is a good enough gap. Do not give a gap more than that as much as possible. Also dehydration. So in fact, now in this weather, in summer, wherein we tend to lose a lot of water through sweat and stuff, it is also very, very important to replenish that water. Because if you are not going to replenish it, so basically it is completely related to blood circulation, right? Because it's your blood which carries nutrients and oxygen towards your brain cells, and the main medium for your blood is water. So if you are dehydrated, there is lack of blood circulation to your brain cells, which can again trigger a migraine attack. So on an average, try to keep up with 2.5 to 3 liters of water in a day, including all your healthy fluids as well, and spread it out through the day. Of course, there are exceptions, when there are medical conditions like kidney issues and stuff, maybe they'll have water restrictions, but otherwise, try to keep up with 2.5 to 3 liters of water. Then coming to the second trigger, which is lack of physical activity. So, again, this is related to blood circulation. If you are going to be more sedentary, it is going to affect your blood circulation, and hence, blood circulation to your brain cells as well, which is going to be a trigger for your migraine. But one may ask me now, especially, during lockdown, that, gyms are closed and you can't really go out for a walk as well. So how do you manage keeping up with those steps or your movement? The answer is quite simple. So take for example, instead of asking your spouse or asking your kid to fetch you that remote, get up and get that remote by your own self. Or for example, just go and get a glass of water for your own self. In fact, even a lot of people are working from home, right? So if you have client calls, just get up and walk around while talking on the phone, so that you can keep up with your steps even that way. So the basic idea is to keep up with movement, to keep up with that blood circulation, which can help reduce your migraine attacks as well. The third trigger is irregular sleep patterns. Now, I always say that many of you tend to underestimate sleep, and many think that it's not non-productive. But actually, it is during your sleep that all of the detoxification, hormonal balance, recovery takes place. And again, especially now in this during lockdown, maybe there are many people who may think that it's okay to sleep late at night and get up late in the morning because we are just at home. But in fact, that is going to be very detrimental. So it is very, very important to sleep on time, and in fact at the same time every day, and try to cover at least on an average 7 to 8 hours of good deep sleep, so that you feel refreshed and rested at the end of the day, when you get up in the morning. The fourth trigger generally that we see is emotional stress. Again, when you are stressed, for example, for an exam, or say you have deadlines to meet at your workplace, you tend to get very tensed, and that also keeps your muscles, your nerves tensed up in your neck and head region. That again affects blood circulation, and thus your brain cells, thus affecting, thus triggering migraine. So there are very simple techniques that you can actually use. So of course we can't really neglect or avoid certain stressors, but we can definitely use certain tools, inexpensive tools, which can help in dealing with these stressors. So for example, the simplest way is deep breathing. Just concentrating on your breath, a slow inhale and a slower exhale really calms your mind and helps with such situations. Even meditation helps you a lot, so we can keep up with that too. The next trigger would be poor gut health. So especially if someone has chronic constipation and acidity issues, it is going to cause a toxin overload in your body because of mainly constipation, and because of more toxin that also acts as a trigger to your to your brain cells, and therefore trigger for your migraine. Also, if someone is too acidic, as I said earlier, acidic medium also triggers migraine. So it is extremely important to keep up with your gut health by keeping, if someone is constipated, take care of that by look at your water intake, have balanced meals, have good amount of fiber. Also in terms of acidity, you can keep up with lemon water, certain alkaline foods which can help keeping up lessening the intensity of acidity. So, so again, gut health is also extremely important when it comes to migraine. Hormonal fluctuations. So normally during menstruation, during menstrual period cycle, or even during pregnancy or menopause, women tend to feel this migraine. They tend to have this migraine headache, right? So that is again because of certain fluctuations, especially estrogen hormone, the fluctuations in that hormone, which leads to certain, menstruation related menstrual headache that you call migraine headache. Even when if you are on oral contraceptive pills or certain hormone replacement therapy, that may also worsen your migraine. Apart from these triggers, there are certain environmental factors as well, like as I said, during summer, so when there is too much of heat, or there's fluctuation, there are weather changes, sudden weather changes, or even change in the pressure, barometric pressure. So for example, even when you are on a flight, when there are pressure changes, some may have a migraine attack even then. Also, if someone is sensitive to bright lights or exposure, too much exposure to sun, certain strong odors and perfume, even that can, trigger migraine. Also, smoking. If you yourself are smoking, or even passive smoke, because it contains a lot of harmful chemicals, which can trigger, or aggravate migraine. Even EMF, the radiation from your phone. So there are certain researches going on, and it seems that even these radiations can affect your migraine, can trigger migraine. So see to it that you always keep your phone. Do not keep your phone near your head, near your brain region. You always use either your phone or headphones to take care of it. So these are basically 7 to 8 major factors, triggers that have been found commonly, which are lifestyle related, to which are triggers to migraine. So what we need to do is to just listen to your body, and because every time your body is giving signals, it's just that that we need to listen to your body and listen to those signals and work accordingly. Also, what you can do is now that you know these triggers, the next time if you have a migraine attack, do maintain a trigger diary wherein you note down, say for example, the triggers or the time of the day, the duration, all of these minute details, which can very well help you in finding out the triggers, and thus helping in overcoming them and working towards it, so that it reduces the impact, or lessens the frequency, or in fact even prevent future migraine attacks. So these were certain triggers. Now let us come to some quick remedies which can help you when you do have, an active migraine attack. Okay, so the first one, which is my favorite actually, is soak peppercorn. So the black peppercorns that we have, generally that's included in our spices. You just need to soak about 4 to 5 peppercorns, rather 3 to 4 peppercorns in water overnight. And in the morning, you need to bite onto them along with the water as well. As you need to take the water as well in which it is soaked. This really helps in keeping up, in reducing the migraine pain and giving you relief, because it has this alkaloid, piperidine, which helps in reducing, in calming your nerves and improving blood circulation. So it really, really helps. The second remedy is ginger tulsi tea, which is also quite easily available. So you just have to take, say, about 1 teaspoon of grated ginger and about 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 tulsi leaves in 2 cups of water. And then you just have to boil it for 5 minutes. keep it like steep it for another few minutes, and then you just strain and sip warm. You can also add a few lemon drops, or even few drops of raw unpasteurized honey, which will enhance the taste as well. This is especially effective because ginger and tulsi, both for that matter, are have anti-inflammatory properties, and they are also have pain relieving properties. Also, ginger tulsi are extremely helpful when it comes to nausea and vomiting, which are some of the which are the symptoms that accompany most of the times accompany migraine. So it can be really helpful in that case. Um, the third remedy would be chamomile tea, again because of its anti-inflammatory and soothing effect. So you can have like a cup of chamomile tea in the day. It can really help with you with your migraine pain as well. The fourth remedy, and again one of my favorites, is almonds. Almonds have these. It's like a powerhouse of nutrients which are especially helpful in migraine. So first is salicin, which is a compound, which is an anti-inflammatory compound found in almonds. And when you have almonds, the salicin is metabolized inside us into salicylic acid, and it's the same compound which is found in your in your common painkiller. So that's the effect of almonds. Also, it has magnesium. So it is known that magnesium is a muscle relaxant, and it also helps with nerve function. So magnesium is really important when it comes to migraine, and almonds have it. Also, the third nutrient is riboflavin, which is B2, one of the B complex vitamins. And almonds are rich in B2 as well, which is also again an important vitamin when it comes to migraine. So you see, it's really a powerhouse of nutrients for your migraine. So probably you can have 5 to 6 soaked almonds, overnight soaked almonds daily. Um, in fact, you can also add half to 1 teaspoon of raw cacao powder or raw cacao nibs, again which are extremely rich in magnesium. And you could also maybe have like a smoothie made out of almond milk and raw cacao. The next remedy would be when we are talking about vitamins, B complex vitamins, especially B6, B2, B12, folic acid. These are extremely important when it comes to migraine, because it has been seen that a deficiency in these B vitamins has also led to migraine. So it is very much essential to keep up with your B complex levels. How can you do it? Through your usual balanced meal, because all of your whole grains, pulses, nuts, seeds, your fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables have B complex vitamins. But if at all required, for some people, one may look at taking a B complex supplement as well if required. Um, the next important vitamin, which is really essential when it comes to migraine, is vitamin D. So vitamin D, again, there are researchers which say that a deficiency in vitamin D can lead to migraine. Also, the other link is that vitamin D is extremely important for magnesium absorption, which, as I said earlier, magnesium is important for your migraine. So for these reasons, it is extremely important to keep up with your vitamin D levels in the body. Normally, exposure to sunlight from 10 to 3 p.m. is generally what is suggested from 30 to 45 minutes probably to activate your vitamin D. But when it comes to migraine, exposure to too much of sunlight itself is a trigger. So I would suggest to avoid this, and rather it is better to keep up with your vitamin D levels through supplementation. But of course, you need to first check how much are your vitamin D levels through a simple blood test. And as per your levels, your doctor will decide your dose of the vitamin D supplementation. But it is a very essential vitamin. So, you please do keep in mind about vitamin D as well. The other, remedy that you can, which really helps with migraine, is aromatherapy with essential oil. So, certain essential oils like peppermint, lavender, eucalyptus oil, especially, if you add a few drops of it in your, say, air diffuser, or even on a handkerchief, and just sniff in the fragrance of these oils, that actually helps in relaxing the muscles and, calming. It has a calming effect, and that really helps with migraine pain as well. or you can just rub a few drops of these essential oil on your temples and just gently massage and breathe in that fragrance. So that also really helps with the pain. Even left nostril breathing, we've seen great results with left nostril breathing as well. That really helps. So the link is basically that left nostril breathing helps in activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is known to calm your body, calm your mind and body. So that's the connection. So, and that is why migraine really helps in calming your left nostril breathing really helps in calming your nerves, and therefore migraine. Even certain yoga postures are extremely beneficial. For example, Setu Bandhasana or Balasana, Matsyendrasana, Marjarasana, Shavasana. But of course, if you're not very as in you're not very sure how to do it, it's always advisable to get learn from or trained from an expert, from a yoga trainer. And also acupressure and acupuncture have been seen to be effective in dealing with migraine. So yes, that was mainly about migraine. So Dina, can we now take up question and answers?
Sure. I have one question to start this off. I get headaches while keeping intermittent fasting. Can you please say something about that?
Yes, so that's I'm happy that someone has asked this question, because I was expecting this and I really wanted to answer this. So when you get a headache during intermittent fasting, that's mainly because of detoxification that happens in your body. So in fact, that's a sign that your body has toxins, and that the detoxification is happening. So what you can do is, if you have such headaches every time, what you can do is do not fast for longer hours. Just start with say 10 hours or 12 hours and see how you feel, and also keep up with your water intake. So that really helps with keeping up with your the levels of your headache to the lowest. But that's mainly because of detoxification. So in a way, that's a sign of detoxification.
Okay. There's one question about, are there any acupressure points to help relieve migraine?
So there's one which I know and which is quite effective is in on your left palm. So basically at the base of your thumb and your index finger, there's this point that you may see. Okay, so you just have to basically press it, and that's mainly your acupressure point for headache or for migraine. So that really helps you. But of course, so you can always go to a train like an acupressurist, to who can customize the pressure, who can let you know exactly what are the acupressure points which would be helpful for you.
Thanks, Prachi. There's a person asking, can taking an eye pill once in a while lead to migraines?
Yes, as I said, since it mainly deals with your hormones, so since it would affect your estrogen level, your hormone level, it may, trigger into a migraine, because ultimately it is fluctuating your hormones, your estrogen level.
Okay. In the winter, this person has a cold and cough, but in summer, migraine. What should I do about that? Even can't drink cold water in summer.
Okay. So in summer, especially, as I said, it could, of course, it is temperature due to high temperatures, but it could also be because of dehydration. So, a couple of points, as I already mentioned, the triggers. Just go back and see if there are any triggers which are causing this for you as well. So, say for example, dehydration. So, see if you are keeping up with your water intake, and even if you are having not really cold foods, but certain foods like sabja or even mint infused water can also help you. Even sattu water or sattu buttermilk can really help keep your body cool, and that can also help with your migraine during summer.
Thanks, Prachi. Someone's asking, can we swallow peppercorns instead of biting it?
So again, that's a very good question, and I want everyone to know that. So it is important for you to bite the peppercorns, as I said, because of this alkaloid, which is activated only when you bite your peppercorn. So and that's the alkaloid which helps with your migraine. So yes, biting is actually essential.
All right. So is there a is there any specific remedy for migraines during periods?
Okay. So I can give you this excellent, smoothie that one can have. As I mentioned about almonds and raw cacao. So what you can do is you can have about say 8 to 10 almonds. Just soak them overnight, and then blend them in a blender and remove the skin, and then blend it into a blender along with 1 teaspoon, half to 1 teaspoon of raw cacao powder, and about 1 or 2 dates. So that really is like an excellent almond smoothie that you can have with raw cacao. And as I said, since almond is a powerhouse of nutrients for migraine, and even raw cacao is rich in magnesium. And in fact, dates will also help in curbing those sugar cravings, which most of the females may have during their menstrual cycle. So this is like an excellent remedy that one can resort to for their migraine during menstruation, during their menstrual cycle.
Thanks for that, Prachi. I think a lot of people are going to make that after this. There are a couple of questions related to sunlight being the trigger, or bright lights. So people get to see patches and stuff like that. So do you want to reiterate that point about sunlight being a trigger or bright
Yes.
light?
Yes. So again, that's exactly the point, that being more under the sun or bright light can also be a trigger. And as I said, the symptoms are called aura, which, as some may see flashes of lights or blind spots. So that is like a typical symptom in migraine. So what one can do is during summers, again, try reducing your exposure to sunlight. And even if you are going out, you need to go out, see to it that you cover your head, your upper part of the body with either an umbrella, or at least like a cloth, which will help in reducing the exposure and reducing the intensity of sun or direct sunlight over you. Also, as I said, keeping up with your water levels, water intake, and also see to it that you're sleeping well, you're having a balanced diet. That will also really help in keeping up, keeping your migraine levels to a minimum, even during summers or even due to sunlight exposure.
Okay, thanks, Prachi. Someone is asking, during migraines, uh, do you recommend that they have a cold water bath or a hot water bath? Which one is recommended?
So it depends, for some people, hot really helps, while for some, cold really helps. But in general, in fact, cold compress over the forehead or even over the nape, the back of your neck, for a few minutes. You can just keep a cloth over your forehead or your neck, and just keep a cold pack on your forehead or your nape of the neck. That really gives relief, from migraine pain.
Okay, we can take up one last question. Someone is saying, when making moderations to their diet, it triggers a migraine. How do they manage this?
Sorry, could you come again?
When making moderations to their diet, so any change in their diet, it triggers a migraine. So
Mm-hmm.
how do they manage that?
Okay. So as I said, you can always maintain a trigger diary. And if you know that, there's some specific food that you're introducing in your daily routine, and you just have to, observe the symptoms post that. And if you do feel that it is triggering a migraine, you just have to, be aware of it, and probably just avoid that food, because probably you are sensitive to that food. So maintaining a trigger diary mainly will really help you in uh, seeing and in observing further, and make your changes accordingly.
Okay, there's one person who's asking if they're allergic to almonds. Is there any other alternative that you could
Uh,
supplement that drink with?
So they can also use pumpkin seeds, like mainly magnesium rich foods. And even they can have like a banana, so even which is magnesium rich. But if at all they can't really have almonds, they can resort to the other remedies, which is either ginger tulsi tea or even chamomile tea. That would also work well. And even soaked peppercorns.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Prachi. If you could just quickly recap what we've covered so far, and then we can end.
Okay, sure. So what we saw in today's session was mainly what migraine is all about, the possible causes for it, even the triggers which can induce migraine. So the triggers were mainly food allergies and faulty dietary habits, lack of physical activity, irregular sleep pattern, emotional stress, poor gut health, including chronic constipation and acidity, hormonal fluctuations, and environmental factors like extreme temperatures or pressure as well. Then we looked at certain remedies, which is so peppercorns, ginger tulsi tea, chamomile tea, almond and raw cacao smoothie, keeping up with your B complex and vitamin D levels, uh, making use of less nostril breathing, aromatherapy, and certain yoga postures. So yes, this was it. That we covered in this session.
All right. So I am posting your Instagram handle in the chat for anyone who has any additional questions. You could reach out to Prachi uh, via, via Instagram. Her handle is prachi.ashrekar, and I have shared that on the chat with everyone for your benefit.
Sure. So thank you everyone, and I just hope that you all found this session informative. And as we always say that lifestyle, you should use lifestyle as a drug to conquer most of your health disorders, and migraine is no exception. So I just hope that you all start using these tips that I've given in this session in your daily routine to help manage with your migraine more effectively. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Take care.